Hey guys, we're back for another This Week in Destiny breakdown. Before we get into it, if you're going to enjoy the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, as there's a lot of you who watch my content aren't actually subscribed. Doing so is free to do and really helps me out here a lot. We're also super close to hitting 500 subscribers, 3 away currently from hitting that, and we also have a goal of hitting 1,000 subs by the end of the year. So once again, if you could help with that, would greatly appreciate it. Let's just dive into this week's article. We have two this week. We have the normal TWID, and then we also have a deep dive look at the Season 21 mid-season patch changes. So in this one, they just go over some Bungie Day stuff. There's a little community event going on where you can catch fish to earn some rewards by watching certain streamers at given times. Also some Bungie store stuff for Bungie Day celebrations. There was the new cinematic that they've showed off in game, and I've made countless videos on the mid-season weapon tuning patch that I'll go over at the end of this section here. Iron Banner next week. It'll be your final time to get this season's emblem, which looks really cool. So if you want that, head into Iron Banner next week. There's also some fish pins if you're interested in that. And finally for this TWID, there is the Witherhoard ornaments. We voted for which exotic we wanted to see get some ornaments, and Witherhoard was that weapon that ended up winning. Here are the three kind of designs. They show off the front of one design, the middle of another, and the back of a third one. If you head over to your emails now, if you've signed up to receive emails from Bungie, you should be able to vote for which of these ornaments you would like to see in game. They all look kind of cool from the little images we see here, but you guys can vote for whichever one you prefer. That's basically it for the TWID, but now we're going to jump into the Season 21 mid-season weapon tuning article. First up, we have some weapon archetypal changes here. For pulse rifles, they are reducing auto aim angle at 0, aim assist stat by roughly 10%. Lightweight bows increasing fixed damage fall off dart distance from 15 to 25 meters. Increased fixed damage fall off end distance from 20 to 45 meters, and increased final accuracy by roughly 10%. SMGs made improvements to Shayura's Wrath ADS dynamic reticle. Shotguns, lightweight shotguns, reduced the spread angle of outer horizontal pellets by 15%. Exotic weapons, Graviton Lance getting a huge PvE damage buff, increased PvE damage by 67%, removed the extra aim assist provided by the catalyst, reduced damage dealt by the cosmology explosion by 40% against players, damage is unchanged in PvE. No time to explain, reduced range stat by 10, and fighting line fixed an issue where the Chimera perk on the Catalyst wasn't applying the buffs to kinetic and power slot weapons. General perks, Gutshot Straight reduced auto aim penalty by 37.5%, Slick Jaw reduced auto aim penalty by 33%, and Target Lock reduced maximum damage versus players from 40 to 25%. Damage in PvE also unchanged. In the future, in Season 22, they plan to reduce the variance between the optimal engagement ranges of the mid-range weapons, auto rifles, pulse rifles, hand cannons, and slightly reduce the average engagement range in Crucible by pulling the maximum damage fall-off distance of many weapon types. They're basically making a huge change to how range works inside of the game, and there's a whole chart here going over what the current zoom stats of weapons are, what they are plus rangefinder, and then their new base ADS modifiers, because rangefinder's getting some changes next season as well. So if you want to pause the video, you can see all the changes there. Note here though, auto rifles have the widest variance in available zoom values in the current live game, between 16 and 20 base. For the purpose of the above chart, 16 zoom was used as a base value since it's the most prevalent. Other changes in Season 22 include hand cannons will be receiving several buffs aimed at improving their usefulness in PvE, including a base reload speed increase and damage increase against minor and major enemies. Sword Guard is getting a substantial rework. Tuning for a handful of exotics include a balance pass for the Monarch and some big buffs to Touch of Malice, alongside changes to weapon perks including buffs to Bipod, Envious Assassin, and Under Over. What about a second balance pass? Season 23 work is in full swing here on the weapons team, which means there's a lot of still in flux. We do know for sure that glaives, and yes, the exotic glaives too, will be getting some substantial tuning, and we're excited to share details on that as we get further along. For now, we can let you know that we're looking at ways to make them feel better to use without making them annoying to play against, and we're experimenting with things like reducing the delay after firing before you can melee and improving the base projectile speed. So some good brave changes there. That's it for this tuning article. There'll be a link down in the description if you want to read through it yourself. That's all I have you guys today. So if you've enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in